The perfect response always arrives late, usually when the conversation is already over. You are brushing your teeth, walking home, or trying to sleep. Then your brain suddenly says, "That is what I should have said." And for 1 second, it feels useful. So you replay the moment. You hear their voice again. You hear your answer, but this time, you change it. You sound calmer, sharper, less awkward. You finally say the sentence that would have made them understand. Then you replay it again. In the next version, you are even better. Now you are confident. Now they have no comeback. Now everyone in the imaginary room can see that you were right. 10 minutes later, you are winning an argument inside a room that no longer exists. I know this loop. I have spent entire evenings inside conversations that lasted 30 seconds. Nothing was happening in front of me. But inside my head, I was explaining, defending, correcting, and editing. I was trying to turn one uncomfortable moment into a version where I never looked weak, confused, or human. I called it reflection, but a lot of the time, I was not learning anything. I was trying to get control after the fact. That is the hidden promise of replaying conversations. Your brain says, stay here a little longer, think harder, find the exact sentence. It says, if you understand every detail, maybe the discomfort will finally disappear. But the moment has already happened. The room is empty. The other person has moved on. And you are spending the present trying to edit the past. That is why the loop is so exhausting. It looks like thinking, but it does not move. Real reflection moves. It gives you a lesson, a repair, or a decision. Something changes because you thought about it. The replay loop circles. It shows you the same scene with slightly different dialogue. It creates another theory about their tone, another guess about what they think of you, another version where you finally perform perfectly. But nothing becomes clearer. You only become more tired, and the conversation starts growing. At first, it was one awkward sentence. After 20 replays, it becomes evidence. Evidence that you always say the wrong thing. Evidence that they do not respect you. Evidence that everyone noticed. Evidence that you ruined something. The memory becomes heavier because you keep carrying it back into the room. Not every uncomfortable conversation is a disaster. Sometimes you were awkward. Sometimes they were distracted. Sometimes the timing was bad. Sometimes two people understood the same moment differently. Sometimes you made a mistake. And sometimes another person made a judgment you cannot control. All of those things can feel uncomfortable without becoming an emergency. But your brain hates unfinished social moments. It wants certainty. It wants to know what they meant, what they think, and whether you are still safe in their mind. So it keeps opening the file. Not because the file contains a new answer, because uncertainty feels like a door you forgot to lock. This is where noise becomes quiet. There is no phone in your hand, no video playing, no notification. But your mind is still loud. You are distracted by a version of the past. And while you are trying to recover one completed moment, the current moment disappears. You do not hear the person sitting next to you. You do not enjoy the walk. You do not start the work in front of you. You do not sleep. The old conversation gets more attention than your actual life. So here is the rule I use now. When a conversation keeps returning, I ask 3 questions. First, what actually happened? Not what I imagine they meant. Not the speech I wish I had delivered. Just the facts. I said this. They said that. The conversation ended. Facts make the memory smaller. Stories make it infinite. Second, is there a lesson? Maybe I interrupted. Maybe I became defensive. Maybe I avoided saying what I really meant. Maybe I explained too much. Maybe I ignored a boundary. Take one lesson. 1. Not a complete trial of your personality. Not a list of every reason you are socially broken. One useful adjustment for the next conversation. That is reflection. It creates movement. Third, is there anything real left to do? Did I hurt someone? Did I leave important information unclear? Did I promise something I now need to correct? If yes, act. Apologize. Clarify. Send one clean message. Make the repair in real life. Do not perform the repair 50 times in your imagination. One honest action is worth more than 100 perfect mental speeches. But if there is nothing left to do, say that clearly. This conversation is complete. That sentence may feel unnatural. Your mind may immediately offer another replay. Let it. You do not need to fight the thought. You need to stop giving it a new meaning. Return to something physical. Wash the cup. Close the laptop. Feel your feet on the floor. Read the page in front of you. Answer the person who is actually here. Give your attention a location in the present. This is not pretending the conversation did not matter. It is refusing to let one moment collect unlimited rent inside your day. Some conversations deserve repair. Some deserve a lesson. Some reveal that a relationship needs a boundary. And some are simply uncomfortable memories that need permission to become old. You cannot control every version of yourself that exists in another person's mind. You cannot return to every room and deliver the perfect line. You cannot guarantee that nobody will misunderstand you, but you can decide how much of today's life you will sacrifice to yesterday's moment. That is the choice, not whether the memory returns. It probably will. The choice is whether you climb back inside it every time. So when the perfect response arrives late, notice it. Maybe smile. Your brain wrote a better line. Fine. Take the lesson if there is one. Make the repair if one is needed. Then let the imaginary room close. The conversation ended. Your life did not. Return to it. Cut the noise. Do the work that still exists.